hole and put a caisson in there, like a piece of culvert, and fill it up with all these silicone sand beads, put the instrument in, level it, fill in more sand beads around it, staple its cable down because it's so sensitive you can't have
Wow.
anything flapping around like that. So
At
it's
what depth is that? Are those at?
all kinds of depths wherever they need to be. Not sure, I couldn't tell you exactly. I'm sure they're in between 1 and 2,000 meters for most of them.
Cool.
So, yeah, tsunami detection systems are actually really cool because tsunamis, although they are very large waves, they're considered shallow water waves because their forces, their energy is felt on the bottom of the ocean, while those surface waves are not. So the way a lot of the detection systems works is even like centimeters of movement or millimeters of movement of that wave energy, it can feel the difference with taking tidal actions into account, so that it notices even the slightest amount of change, which would be the effects of a tsunami moving over it.
Wow. So really sensitive stuff.
Yes.
Can we zoom in on the lasers now and see what's living on this colony?
Yeah, go ahead, video.
Just to do something different.
Bunch more crinoids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are all the same corals. Some barnacles there to the lower left, crinoids, brittle stars, ophiocanthids.
It's not a very diverse population of corals,
Yeah,
but very dense.
suspicious, right?
Yeah. I'm guessing these really outcompete these bamboo corals down here.
Well, we're approaching a slope now. We're just on the base of this thing, and it's going to rise pretty quickly. And usually when you have a change in slope, you have a different community, a change in community as well. So we'll see if these corals persist up this slope.
Okay, full wide, please.
You know, now that I'm looking at this coral, I've seen it before, and I think I have a sample in the lab back at my home university, but I don't think we ever got a good ID on it. Bamboo corals are notoriously difficult.
I remember when Dr. Chris Kelly was talking to me about bamboo corals, and he got into the species ID level, and it was just like 1D, 3C, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. We so the current system we have for classifying beyond the family or subfamily for bamboo corals relies on clades.
Mm-hmm.
And clades are basically just groups
Keep a
of
good eye on your sonar
similar
now, coming onto the slope.
Sounds
species
good.
Clustered together based on, you know, molecular DNA-based methods or based on morphology.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it's a combination of the two. And some of the clades are intuitive, like clade I is everything in the what we think is the genus Isidella. Clade J is everything that resembles or looks like Jasonisis, which is a coral that was described not too long ago off of Tasmania, I
Was it
think.
described by someone named Jason?
No, it was actually named after the Jason ROV, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, we had some people writing in when we first got to the bottom that they were wondering if this was Jason Isis. But I think it was someone named Jason who was hoping that it was Jason Isis.
I will take a look. So Jason Isis has very distinct polyps, and there's a lot of different variability in that clade.
Does, if I remember correctly, do they have a lot, like a higher concentration of sclerites in their polyps that make them like differentiated?
Yeah, I can check on that. I have a paper downstairs actually. I brought with me to reference bamboo corals. So I'll get back to you on that.
Cool. And we've also got quite a few people writing in that they remember watching the Ocean Networks Canada dives and thinking that all of that was really, really awesome, especially when rays and octopuses were attacking the craft arms while you were all trying to do work.
Yeah, those are usually interesting cruises. Very different from what we're doing now.
Yeah, for
Which
sure.
is also very interesting. But they come with a lot of engineering problems every year that are kind of interesting puzzles to figure out.
I can imagine. And again, just some basics for our viewers at home. Those green dots is our laser scale system. The two green dots are 10 centimeters or about 4 inches apart. And the debris that you're seeing sort of floating through the water is something we refer to as marine snow. And it is, as I said, debris or detritus from the upper levels of the water that's falling down. And it's also what these coral communities are feeding on. The little polyps that are growing, building up these structures, pull the debris from the water and eat it.
Well, that fish kind of looked like something nipped the back of his tail.
How would you describe the geology of where we are right now?
I would say a manganese encrusted talus slope, probably. This is more like what I would describe talus as.
So a bunch of stuff piled up at the bottom of this slope.
Yeah.
And if you were watching our dive yesterday, you definitely probably saw some of those angler fish that we were coming across. It was at some similar depths that we're at now, but I don't believe that we have seen any on this dive so far. And we are at the start of this dive off of Jarvis Island. We've been down here for a little over an hour, something like that, hour and a half. I'm down here on the seafloor, and we are slated to be diving for about 24 hours. So you're in for a lot of diving over the next day off of Jarvis Island.
Been on the bottom for about hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes.
Nice. Thank you.
Go ahead and see if we can't check the swing again. It's getting pretty out there. Bridge now. Of course we hold position.
So, based on some new information I found, I think this might be in the D clade or D1 clade. It has these distinct polyps at a 45-degree angle or angled to the axis.
So
What does that mean?
Their angle
Probably
off of the stalk?
they look like they're angled, yeah, to the stalk. What does that mean species-wise? Who knows? These are just observations at this point.
Oh, these rocks look, unfortunately, very welded. Keeping an eye out though.
These are some pretty big, tall stalks here. Shout out to our viewer, Sarah, who says that they donated so that when California falls into the sea this week, we can launch an expedition to explore their apartment.
Clever.
Anyone seen the movie San Andreas
I have not.
with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Have you, Chris?
I have. I've watched it on my own, and I believe I watched it in class, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Which class?
It was one of my physical oceanography classes, or ocean dynamics or something. We were watching the specific scene about the tsunami, I believe. We also watched that giant wave scene from Interstellar. And some of
that
the
scene is terrifying.
yeah, and some of the scenes from Finding Dory, actually.
I
And
saw that when it came out.
our
Oh,
task
Nemo.
is to find everything we can that's scientifically inaccurate with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Was
cool.
there a
It really
lot?
ruins the movie, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Well, like we said with watching the Meg, you gotta know what you're getting when you go into it.
Yeah.
Do hope everyone in California is safe right now.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the big tidal wave. Was that accurate
For San Andreas or Interstellar?
for Interstellar?
Interstellar, no, it was not accurate. with the gravity that they said they were feeling, they said it was like 4 times Earth or something like that. The wave would never be able to get to that height. Also, with
Also the depth,
depth
right?
of water that they
Yeah.
were standing in, it
No
doesn't
way.
compute properly, even accounting for that pullback that you see right before a tsunami hits. Yeah, there was a lot of inaccuracies. And for the wave to be that high, the column of water behind it would have had to be massive.
Yeah. Didn't stop from terrifying me, though.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they also flew through like a wormhole and fell into a black hole. And
Yeah.
Came out from behind the bookcase.
yeah. It's like when someone says...
Spoiler alert.
yeah, sorry.
Too late.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you've had years now.
Yeah, walk it back.
But it is I love that movie.
I haven't.
It's one of my favorites.
Yep.
I still haven't seen Gravity yet.
Gravity is
Sandra
good
Bullock.
and stressful. But it's good.
Day after tomorrow, I had to watch in school, but I don't know if that's accurate at all.
Oh, no, it is. So my academic advisor is teaches meteorology.
Yeah.
It is her least favorite movie ever.
Mm.
She
Really?
hates it. Yeah, it's not accurate at all.
Ah.
It's a great movie, but man.
As far as like shows or movies that are kind of scientifically could be plausible, I've heard The Expanse sci-fi show is is somewhat realistic, like as far as the physics go.
I've heard that as well. I haven't watched it myself, though.
They have people that live in 0G, and their bodies are all kind of like morphed and elongated because of it, and dealing with the effects of that and stuff.
Cool.
It's cool.
And the region that we are in and the dives that we've been doing this past week are in what's called the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument. And though we have been able to sort of see some of these areas from the ship, we are not getting off and, visiting those islands. We are visiting below the islands with our ROVs.
I use bubble for gauges.
Sure.
Once we come a little closer here, current seems to have just about died down. I'm going to see if we can shift our ship's heading a little bit, so there's hopefully less chance of pulling the wire underneath.
Sounds good.
Gauges are good.
Roger.
There's a purple blob on the left-hand side, just on the other side of this coral. Does anyone else see that?
Yeah.
On the rock?
Go ahead and zoom in.
Wow, good eye.
Little cucumber.
What is that?
It looks kind of segmented, like two bits there.
I think I see it now. I think it's a cucumber.
Coming in.
Yeah, I think it's a cucumber.
It looks like it's maybe just kind of flipped over on its side there,
Yeah, weird
which is why
profile.
it looks a little weird.
Okay.
Okay, full wide, please.
Bridge, Nav. Request to know if we could change ship's heading to 115. Thank you. Hopefully that doesn't put us in a sour spot with swell.
Zoom in there.
Some more crinoids hanging out.
Some encrusting sponge.
Where's the encrusting oh, there it is. And barnacles along the stalk.
Well, hopefully just about under 24 hours from now we'll be looking at the mesophotic zone maybe, or
That would be
just below the mesophotic zone
that would
as
be
we head
pretty
into the
cool.
shallow waters. Excited for that.
Yes, me too.
Alrighty, once we get into position, I'm gonna start on up this hill here.
Okay.
Well, if this bamboo coral garden continues up to waypoint 3, I'm just gonna, I don't know,
Switch watches.
I've never seen anything like this.
Those are 10 meter.
These
That
are
rock
10
is
meter
exceptionally
contours.
black over there.
Want to try just doing a few steps to see how we go?
Yeah.
And it's still looking like all the same that we've been seeing.
Bridge now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Request 20 meter step bearing 350.
This is an area where
Thank
you
you.
would say there is a high abundance, low diversity in terms of corals.
Slime star on the left-hand side.
Sorry, what's on the left?
Slime star, purple slime star.
Oh yeah, nice.
Popping out from the
Zoom in, please.
backdrop.
I don't know.
That's a really cute one.
It's like the undersea Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, full wide.
I was thinking more like a gusher.
I
Oh,
can
yeah.
definitely see Gusher. Looks like one of those purple and white crinoids that we were seeing on the bottom of that coral there.
So many rocks, so little options.
There's a fish in the Argus view.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Oh, it's a chimera. Can see the wings.
It's scooting around as you're scooting around. That's funny. Come here, little buddy.
Where is he? Gone. All right.
I think he's a little higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
set it off.
we tried.
Oh,
That's
there's
not a
another
fish.
fish.
That one looked like another type of rat tail. Again, for our viewers at home, we are diving off of Jarvis Island again, this time to the southeast corner. Looks like there might be an anemone on the coral to the top left.
Zoom in.
There's a Venus flytrap anemone and a bunch of crinoids on that bamboo coral.
That makes me feel pretty good because I looked at it and said, that looks like a Venus flytrap. And then thought, no, they'd never name it something like that.
There you go.
Yep. Common names for the win.
It's got pretty distinct difference in the geology.
You see that dark rock to the left of the lasers? Can you get center on it just so I can kind of get an idea of the scale? It looks probably too big to
This
pick up.
one?
Yeah. I'm guessing that's too large.
Too big.
All right.
Does look like a nice one though, Kevin.
Yeah, it looks like it might be not a little loose, but yeah, it's too large, so search continues.
On to the next one.
So is that just like sheet flow on the right there? Or what's the difference there?
It might be a carbonate platform, so it might just be sedimentation, and you have some manganese cementing it, and you kind of form a hard kind of carbonate rock made up out of the marine snow.
Cool. Bridge now. One more step, please.
And Steve, viewers are wondering if this is the final dive of this expedition.
Maybe.
We'll keep you in suspense.
We'll see what we find. We'll reevaluate what our pacing looks like, how we're doing maybe in the early morning tomorrow, see where we're at.
But in any case, we still have a lot of this dive left. It's slated to be about 24 hours, and we started getting into the water around 4 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time.
So we did draft up an alternate dive plan for this particular dive on Jarvis. A little short one. If we do finish this dive track and it seems fruitful at the end, we're going to try a similar dive track on the western side of Jarvis, but just in the upper 600 meters of water. So between 600 and 250. If we do dive there, it'll be short. It'll be less than 12 hours, most likely, depending on how, if we extend this dive or not. But yeah, I think we're going to try and aim for 24 hours on this site.
Cool.
One more step, please.
The alternative, too, is we discussed if recovering and relaunching would take too much time, we can tow the vehicles a certain distance. But towing them would be also take time, so it's going to be some difficult calculus here when we get towards the middle of this dive track. But we have a long way to go before that
Yes,
happens.
indeed. A lot of this dive left.
Did I mishear you, or did you say difficult calculus?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
That's-
calculus, so. Tag me in, coach. My ears rang. I was like, what?
Boomerang Parsnip loves calculus.
Yeah, no, to me, difficult calculus is like, what's the, what's the,
Redundant.
yeah, I feel like there's some, but yeah, it's redundant.
Hey, is there a crab on the left-hand side? Something's moving over there. Or is that a crinoid?
Crinoid, I think you're looking
12,
at.
yeah,
Let's
now
play
12
the game.
o'clock.
Crab or a
Right
crinoid.
here.
Zoom in, please.
And it's a crinoid.
All right. Oh, there's a crab too.
There is a tiny crab.
Oh no, it's a brittle
Oh.
star.
Nope, it's a better star.
Okay, well, 0 for 2. 0 for 2 on that zoom. All right.
We'll cut it from the live feed.
Yeah, everybody at home just pretend you didn't hear
Great
that.
job. Yeah, when you do survey work in the deep sea, you have to look
more
at a
step,
lot of
please.
rocks before you see any fish.
No, it'd be like the news and have that 5-second delay so they can just hit the button and cut it.
Yeah.
Insert crab.
So insert just a Google image of a crab.
And take crab graphic.
Oh, that tickled me.
Zoom in there.
There's a brittle star going for a ride.
Little roll, you know.
Yeah,
They're getting scared. They're jumping off.
it was rolled up like a ball. Is that like a typical
Oh my gosh,
means
look at
for
Is that
transportation?
Is that a
or-
little sponge growing off a coral?
Towards the top.
Yeah.
See the way they like curl
right
up?
there. Full zoom.
I was
Maybe. I don't think it's a sponge.
thinking it might be a shell of some sort, but
It looks like maybe a shell, but it's really fouled up.
Zoom in there.
Coming in.
crinoids everywhere.
Is that another one of those Venus flytrap anemones?
Looks like it. and a much more brightly colored. Looks like a brittle star back there as well.
Seems like there's more loose stuff over the left-hand side. This is kind of, but loose is a relative term here.
Yeah. Loose as in pseudo-loose. But definitely not going to find anything on these long sheet flows or sediment platforms, whatever these are. Okay, full wide.
There's also been quite a bit of barnacle growth on these as well. Crinoids and barnacles. Oh my.
Yeah, barnacles would indicate that there's enough food for them to feed on, so this is probably a high food delivery environment.
Seems like a good current coming through here. Either that or just some really fast snow.
Yeah, oh, this looks welded.
Yes, it does. I agree, viewer. Brittle stars are cute. There was a sea star predating.
Oh, I missed it.
It was an orange one.
Can you come full wide on Argus, please?
Full wide.
Thank you.
What is that on that?
Another
Whoa.
Venus flytrap.
Oh yeah. It almost looked like a
We're losing some density here.
jelly right there.
Mm-hmm.
Bridge now.
Could be a function of the slope.
One more step, please.
Can we go back? Sorry. Turn back left and zoom in 6 o'clock right now. Is that an anemone on the
Go
rock
ahead, video.
surface?
Crinoid.
Ah. The old stalked crinoid.
They're tricky crinoids tonight.
Okay.
Full wide, please.
Are you sure that's stocked crinoid?
Yeah,
Look
it's one of the, oh, I don't know what they're calling them these days.
Bridge now.
It's one of these critters
One more step,
with
please.
the articulated stalk like this.
Is that what we were seeing yesterday that we thought were unstocked?
Yes. So the really fluffy ones we were seeing yesterday that looked short and you could see the bottom appendages are actually stalked, apparently.
Well, look at that.
Yep.
See, there's a
Possibly.
There's
sea
another
star.
sea star.
Yeah, oh yeah. Can we zoom on the
That's
sea
cool.
star?
Yeah, go ahead, video.
That's what I would expect to see. These are the big grazers.
And it looks like it's been grazing.
Yep.
It looks so massive for the branches it's hanging on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stick on there really well.
The shrimp along for the ride.
The slow, slow ride.
All right, thank you.
Okay, full wide, please.
And Chris, we've got someone writing in to say that your shoe is untied.
What? I didn't look.
Yes, you
I
did.
saw you look.
No.
I
Yes, you
watched
did.
you.
My head jerked.
Your
but I didn't
eyeballs
look.
moved.
I saw you look. I just said that because I'm assuming that might be. Is that your friend Austin?
Maybe.
Maybe it's Kelsey.
Whoever you are, write your name after.
I really only read it because I knew you were gonna look.
Well, I thought he could have been on Cam Sai. I was like, oh, it's probably, nope, it's not on.
My shoelaces are actually hidden completely by the desk here, so even if I did look over, I couldn't see my shoelaces.
You
Excuses, excuses.
glanced.
My shoelaces are secured with approximately like 7 square knots right now, so.
So viewers, don't worry.
Bridge, no.
Shoelaces are secure.
One more step, please.
Yeah, the current's really getting strong now.
And someone took my high pack. Is anyone using high pack plan right now?
I am not.
Nope.
Yeah, I took it to view. I didn't think it was going to mess you up. I will switch off of it.
High pack is one of the touchiest.
Okay, I'm no longer using it.
Roger that, thank you. Yes, there it is.
It's like another urchin.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that, because usually you're able to switch it over, right, for viewing?
Yep. I usually take high pack survey, actually. I don't take high pack plan very often.
Oh, yeah, that's probably.
That's the one that
The two screens are like connected, but they're.
Can we zoom in on some of these rocks? See if
Maybe it's when I have both,
There's-
that's the problem.
Yeah, go ahead, video, zoom in.
there's a big fish on the right. Probably not loose.
Come wider.
Well, maybe that on the right. Right below that big rock. Right south of the lasers now.
Yeah. Can you stop the ship? We're probably gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a step back.
Yeah. I'll try and get in there and see if I can get it quickly, but.
Bridge nav. Request we take a step, 30 meter step, bearing 180. Thank you.
That look like it's gonna come out to you?
There's a chance. I wouldn't put it. Let's say 50-50.
Show me there.
Nope. Sorry. Any of these move? You can feel how hard the sediment is on the ground
Yeah.
here.
Let's just check this swing here. Now, Chris, we got one.
Yeah, I'll let it come back on the step and let it fill in the rest.
Yeah.
Steve, I think this morning we were talking about the story you told about the researchers who saw sea stars feeding on coral, and then they went back a few years later and they were on the same corals.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
And we were trying to remember where that was.
That was in the New England seamount chain. I don't know. I don't remember which seamount exactly, but
So
it's,
in the Atlantic Ocean?
yeah, it's in the Atlantic. New England seamounts extend off the continental shelf, off of Massachusetts, Cape Cod, out there.
Got it.
Big critter on that boulder.
Oh yeah, there's another stocked granite.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some small Chrysogorgia octocorals too. Occasionally, I'll try and keep my eye out for one so we can image it. I think we have a number of Chrysogorgia from this depth. I just wanted to see if it looks like anything we've already sampled, if that gives us a better ID.
That one right there in the rock.
Guys, I'm not going to be able to stop for a minute
Don't
here. I want to get
think
back
so.
out ahead. It's current has gotten quite strong in this spot.
It might be.
Understood.
It might be, but we'll catch up. Yep, so those bamboo corals totally disappeared now as the slope increases, so they're not super tolerant to these sloped environments, or they don't have, it's difficult for the larvae to get transported up slope here. Makes sense, the slope, or at least the current in this area indicates it's kind of coming down, looks like it's coming down slope.
Seems like.
We're steadying up right here.
Yeah, it seemed like the bamboo were densest when there was a boulder field on a relatively flat plane.
Yeah. Boulder, constant flow, nothing too tricky up there. What's that eel thing? Any of this stuff?
Loose? I don't think
Loose
so.
material?
There's some more of your fans on the left.
What about
Oh,
that
yeah.
one in the middle of the
And this
sediment?
one right in the middle.
Yeah, guys, we're not in a good spot here.
Okay.
Can't stop, unfortunately. Just like the one yesterday, there's just a lot of current just ripping down over this face. I gotta get back out in front.
Yeah, again, you can see the marine snow moving faster and faster past the camera.
What are those little yellow cups? Are they corals?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
So there's a lot of them now.
Okay, if you see a rock or something you want now, I'm in a better position. I can try and get down to it.
Can you zoom on one of those yellow corals on the left? Little cups on like the ridge of the rock.
They look like yellow
Little tiny
balls.
guys? Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're barnacle shells.
Okay, go ahead, video.
We'll see.
It's a bit shaky here.
Let's see, let's see.
Barnacles.
Cool.
Yeah, you can see one of the live ones there.
But yeah, you can see the one near the laser is a bit more of a distinct barnacle-y shape.
If we're able, I'm willing to poke around right below the lasers. It looks
Yeah.
semi-loose, at least from the distance. We'll see when we get closer.
You want to zoom in there for
Yeah,
that?
that would be good.
Go ahead, video.
Yeah, right. On the lasers and to the left of the lasers look kind of loose. Maybe that one. Below it.
Okay. Come wide, please. Open the iris a bit.
And you can't quite see any of it in view right now, but again, that debris that we saw falling is something that we do refer to as marine snow. That's what we call the debris that falls through the water column. We've also gotten quite a few nice comments from viewers just saying thank you for our efforts and sharing with them. And I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers.
Now,
So everything here looks pretty good, so you can kind of just poke around and see if anything's loose. Yeah, that one. That one's probably not. Or maybe below it. Yeah, can you reach that tiny little guy right by? Yeah.
this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
really tricky.
Yeah.
I definitely thought that one was loose.
Alright. Yeah, I'm guessing none of these are going to be loose if that one wasn't.
Swim away, swim away.
No, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is all loaded. Been a tough seamount so far.
Alright, I'm gonna start moving up
Roger.
bridge now. Request 20 meter step bearing 345.
Is that one to the left seem loose there in that sediment patch?
Sorry, A, it's too big, I think, and it's probably not worth landing for one guy.
Mm,
So if it doesn't move, you can't really test around.
yeah.
We'll find one, I'm sure.
It's gonna be okay, Kevin.
We always do.
We're gonna find you a rock.
We'll see. I'll just be back here pouting.
I can hear you pouting through SPL.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not with that defeatist attitude. We're not gonna find one.
Looks like it might be a mushroom coral on that rock to the right.
Oh, yeah. Zoom in there.
And that one looks like some sort of
Sorry,
chrysogorgid
come
to
on.
me.
What's that critter to the left?
Something floating down, or
Oh,
is that a branch?
It might be just a branch floating in the wind. Yeah.
Can we zoom on branch at 9 o'clock? Single stalk.
Where is it?
Right under the shrimp.
To the left of your lasers.
9 o'clock.
Right above the lasers.
It's blending into the rock.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You see the shrimp?
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Go ahead, video.
So this is a... Alright, it's a bamboo, unbranched. Difficult to say if it actually could be one of the ones we saw down below. I'm guessing it's not. I think it's slightly different. It's got a higher polyp density. So unbranched bamboo.
That shrimp has long legs.
Those are its walking legs.
There, full wide.
Oop, and it just used its swimming legs.
With all this identification that I'm learning, I was down in the lounge right after 8 to 12 took over, and they came across some coral. It was Chrysogorgia. And they're like, oh, I wonder what this is. And I almost like yelled at the TV like you do at Jeopardy. And then they found, like, they're like, oh, I know what that is. And they said it. And I was like, I said it first.
You just literally described every day at my office.
You proud you're getting all these coral nerds going, Steve?
Yeah,
Bridge, Nev.
you too can play from home. What's that coral?
One more step, please. I mean, there's the bingo, right, on the website?
Yeah, if you go to the educational resources, there's actually a couple pages of bingo that you can play along as we're diving. I think there's also a blue water bingo, seafloor bingo, coloring pages. Lots that you can do while you're, watching along with us.
I need to play this game. I haven't seen that.
I think the blue water bingo would be especially useful.
Yeah.
Oh, this one
Ooh.
keeps going. Oh, there
Yeah.
it is.
So it's over a meter, definitely.
You want to zoom in?
Another bamboo coral. I think this is probably related or the same species as the one we just imaged. This one's just much larger, the unbranched.
It's got a slight pinkish color to it.